Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I want to give my thoughts on the 10th anniversary of the Neptunia franchise from Idea Factory. So yes, of course if you follow both of my channel, I always showcase to some extent that Idea Factory games, of course Neptunia, and I even give thoughts about them because that's one of my favorite company that I follow. I like their game. There may not be Final Fantasy to some extent, but hey, for what it is, it's very entertaining. It's fun for me. Yeah, I know. Of course, the fan service, but Sony, shame on you. But that's a different story then. So anyway, August the 19th, they did a 10th anniversary of the series. Looking back, even having some well-known people basically giving their answer in a Q&A. So I'm gonna give all my thoughts about that one. First of all, of course, you know, any event, the best thing about it is announcements. So I'm gonna start with that one first before I talk about what I thought about the whole presentation, because I think announcements is probably the most exciting part. Don't you agree with me? So anyway, first of all, the elephant in the room, I'm gonna start with that one, is that at the same time, while in preparation of the 10th anniversary of the Neptunia series, which again came out August the 19th, 2010, with Neptunia or Hyper Dimension Neptunia for the PS3. Yes, so that game came out in that day, and then 6 months later was the international release. And of course, at a time, including myself, bought the game because I mean, what's interesting is all about video game, but sadly to say, believe it or not, it's going to be another video about it. Like, what's my connection and my fandom of the Idea Factory? The game was kind of slow. I couldn't really get into it for a while, and sadly to say, I mean, granted, North America did localize the game. The game sold poorly, like really bad, to a point that I think within 6 months, the game had a price drop, like a permanent price drop. Yeah, I mean, that'll be a different story there. So in this one, let's go back now, 10 years later. Now a lot of people, including myself, are happy celebrating the 10th anniversary. So in Japan, the president of Compile Heart announced that yes, there will be a new Neptunia game. Not just any Neptunia game, because for a while, ever since V2, there have been a lot of spin-offs. There was Cyber Dimension or Goddesses. Of course, there's a revamped V2R, which is the same game. They add some new stuff, remove some other stuff for whatever reason. Super Neptunia RPG, of course, coming outside of Japan in 2021. Neptunia Virtual Star, it's already out in Japan. And yeah, a lot of people say they do enjoy the game. Of course, if you're a VTuber fan also, this is the game for you. And apparently, from what I heard, that even the trophies are easy to get. You can actually get a platinum trophy if you work on it, but that's a different story there. And so the question is, whatever happened to the mainline? How come it's been so while since V2? Well, this is my guess that when the president showed the new game, it's called GoGo 5D Neptunia ReVerse. So yes, you heard me right. Go 5D Neptune ReVerse. And you might say, so what is this game? Is it a new game? Is it a master game? Well, here's my two theories. The first theory, at first I thought maybe that since it's number 5, it's finally the 5th one in the main series. So finally, once again, Neptunia storyline on the main timeline. So there have been, of course, Hyper Dimension Neptunia, Hyper Dimension Neptunia Mark II, Hyper Dimension Neptunia V, or in Japan, Victory, and I'm just listing the PS3 game, and then in the PS4, Mega Dimension Neptunia V2. So those are 4 games, and then of course this one's number 5. So I assume it's the 5th one. Some people say, well, what about the ReVerse series? So the ReVerse series is just a remake of the first 3 games. You know, if you could do better, why not? So there you go. Yeah, you could say they're part of the main line, but to some extent you could probably also say it's a side game because it's a retold story. I mean, you decide, potato, potato. However, this one has a number 5. That's probably the key number. It's the 5th line in the main series. Or, and this is my assumption in the second one, is It's a remastered of the original Neptunia because how it gameplay. The 3 Rebirth game, they're probably gonna do Rebirth Plus. I mean, they did that before with Rebirth Plus, the very first one. I even have the import one, but unfortunately, from what I heard, it didn't really sell well. It was more revamp of the beta version with more characters in it. That, from what I heard, didn't really sell well. The whole point with that one was it's supposed to have a connection with Super Neptunia RPG, but again, kind of failed, so they just stopped doing it. You know, it is what it is. And then, of course, you got the, like I said, the PS3 Neptunia game, the Rebirth, all 3 of them, and then maybe number 5 would be V2, not V2R, and they all remastered on PS5. And yes, folks, PS5. So apparently that's my 1 or 2 views. Maybe it is a new game, or they're gonna remaster 5 games of the main line. But again, who knows? You're gonna have to wait and see, because according to the president, on September they're gonna reveal more about it. And again, mind you, this is only in Japan as of right now. Granted, it's probably gonna be localized outside, but it'll be a long while. You gotta keep in mind, Idea Factory, and I said it before, I said it again, they don't do worldwide releases. It's impossible for them, and some of the reason is that their localization team for Idea Factory International, they're not that big. And like I said, I've been saying about this, but like I said, hopefully in the long run I will talk about the whole shebang situation. And this is a common thing for other companies as well. But again, of course, in 2021 is Neptunia Virtual Stars. So again, you have to wait and see that one and see what happened there. But yeah, that was the big one. Finally, a new Neptunia that's assuming, because of the key number 5, is going to be a main line. With that also, in Idea Factory International, they got new swags. That's it. They got new swags now. And some of them were meant to be Anime Expo 2020, but of course, you know what happened. The pandemic. So now you can order some of them on their store. So if you like the swag and you have wallet to burn, there you go. You know, break your wallet. That's what the Neptunia say. But you know, again, that's a different story there, so get more merch there. Also, they even tease a new figurine, and they only showed silhouette. They didn't show like what it is yet. They're gonna show it in the later months, whatever. I mean, maybe like just somewhere later. And that is supposed to be like Neptunia doing a victory sign, standing on a giant pudding. That's the hint. Again, no one knows what it is, but you just have to wait and see. So again, if you guys like about those swags, figurine, yeah, go for it. And of course, there's a charity that's going, and Tsunako actually did like a awesome illustration. They showed it on the stream, and the bidding I think right now is more than $15,000. So again, and all the money goes to COVID relief. So again, that's awesome. But there you go. So I'm gonna put that link in the description box about a lot of this information, especially Tsunako's new like illustration for it. Pretty beautiful, like it's really awesome there. And then of course, speaking of Tsunako and animation, yes, so last year in 2019, there was actually episode 14 of the Dimension Neptunia the Animation, which is the second OAV. It's all about summer vacation, of course, introducing adult Neptune or Neptune from the Ultra Dimension. And when that first came out, it was a Sony movie exclusive. There's, I think, Blu-ray to some extent, and there was even like a free PS4 theme only in Japan. I mean, I had a Japanese account. However, I tried to use it in my US account. I got denied. I'm so sad, but beside the point. Yeah, and the funny part also in this one, I just want to make a side note, is that in Anime Expo 2019, they actually trying to market that. And it was like, wait, so they have some sort of booth about this, but this anime is not coming out in the US. Why are you here? I mean, to some extent, I mean, it's good and all, but at the same time, expo, trade show, convention, whatever, you sell stuff that's supposed to be meant in the US. And from what I heard, some people just said that the people behind it just said, Well, we just want to let you know that we have a new Neptunia. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. You can try to watch it. Watch it. Thumbs up. I mean, unless you're willing to pay the Sony PlayStation Store for the Japanese side, the movie. It was exclusive there for a while. Now I think there's a Blu-ray. Yeah, well, go for it. I mean, it's not going to be sub, but okay, well, your guys are there, but sure, you're awesome. Make the place look awesome. Just saying. So anyway, with that, it's a little bit of funny, but anyway, Idea Factory International also announced that this coming fall, exclusive to Steam right now, and I'm probably going to give my TV why that's happening. Not only that they're going to finally show the Hyper Dimension Neptunia episode 14, the second, but apparently they're going to also show Hyper Dimension Neptunia the Animation highlights. So I did follow this on Twitter, but I'm not really knowledgeable about this one but they've been talking about it in Japan. From what I understand, what it is it's the whole 13 episode plus the OAV, the first one, which is the episode that one is all about going to the Ultra Dimension. So it is kind of based on the third game. So you see Ultra Dimension, Noir, Blanche, and Vert. But anyway, yeah, apparently there was a remastered version of that series. All the episodes, I guess, even much better, I guess, script, better subbing from what I heard. And yeah, it was been out in Japan, like I said, since 2019. So they're finally also going to bring that in the West, again, exclusive to Steam right now. So not only you get the second OAV, you also get the entire episode of Hyper Dimension Neptunia Animation Remastered, titled Highlight. However, there is one downside for this one as of right now, and that is it's only in Japanese sub. Yeah, there is no English dub as of right now for this anime. My theory about that one is one or two. First of all, they want to test the water to see if people are actually going to buy the animation episode, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I bought the DVD from Funimation, I got it for $20. It was one of the save package versions, so you kind of get an idea what I'm getting at there. So of course I did a showcase about that one. Unfortunately, my case was a bit lemony, but that's a different story there. So anyway, that's probably one reason why they don't have a sub. Could be to cut costs, to see test water. Or second is, even so they probably could hire, because most of the voice actors and actresses are from Bang Zoom. Again, real life situation, the pandemic. Maybe they didn't have time. So again, who knows? So hopefully in the long run, they will have English stuff. Also, there's also a reason why my theory wise on Steam. They probably don't want to make a deal with Funimation. Yes, folks, Funimation. And I said it before, yes, the original Hyper Dimension Neptunia Animation was localized at Funimation. As of right now, Funimation used to be good in the past because they were just, they were trying to prove themselves, because now they're the top dog. And when you get the top dog syndrome, you get cocky, you get political, and you know the story, so I'm not going to get into it. So maybe they just don't want to deal with Funimation. However, they can also team up with Viz. Viz is still up, and for them, they're more humble. Possibly also, push come to shove, High Dive, Sentai Filmworks, but they're in Texas, so they have their own voice actor. So my guess probably gonna be close, and this just makes more sense. It's somebody new, or to work with somebody well known. Probably Viz makes more sense, because Viz do work with Bang Zoom. Oh heck, excuse me, another one, Aniplex also, which is a Sony owned anime studio. I know, yeah, could be also, because they also use Bang Zoom from what I heard of that one. But again, not really knowledgeable in this department. But right now, that's my guess of why it's on Steam and why it's not dub. No dub. Hopefully in the long run. And also maybe just a wish, and I was hoping at least their manga, their book franchise. They've been showing a lot of franchise, but I know a lot of people have been asking Idea Factory about, what about the manga? What about the books? people want to read it like officially. I know people have to do fan dub reading, fan translation, and yeah. But from what I heard is that according to Idea Factory International, right now that they have no plan. Like, they're probably looking for someone who can do it, but again, who knows? But yeah, so there you go, my announcement. So of course, like I said, people love that announcement there. And of course, back to Go 5, the Neptunia ReVerse. They also said, well, what happened to Neptunia Ninja-E? So according to the president, beside this new project for the PlayStation 5, as of right now it is, which again, like I said, Compile Heart is only knowledgeable to make games on PS5, learning Switch, of course Steam as well. You gotta give them time. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. They also said they have other projects, including Ninja-E. So, probably my guess about this PS5 game, it's not probably gonna be released, and this is my guess, in Japan, August of 2021 at least. Like, that's probably it. They're probably gonna wait a year. By the end of the anniversary, that's when they can release the game. And then outside of Japan, it's gonna be 2022. That's my guess about that one. So those are the announcement part, the good part about the presentation. Because I mean, come on, everybody wants to know about the announcement. So now I'm gonna give my thoughts on at least 2 people that were in the stream. Yes, Alex Valley, the localization staff for Idea Factory International. He was there. It's cool. Saw some. I mean, respect. Apparently, well, there was something interesting about that guy in one of the interview. Is that there was, if you heard the term, I think in V2, that's Nep demo. So apparently, the story behind that is that there was a Idea Factory Neptunia fan who also likes Metallica, and that phrase Nep demo was based on a song, a lyric from Metallica. Alex decided to use it and pun it to like in a game, and then the guy, he said in the Anime Expo, met Alex. And, yeah, I was the guy that did it, and we're like, hey, they're cool about it. And I was actually also asking for the guy that he didn't like, hey, you took my, my phrase, my motto, or whatever. But of course, even going technicality, didn't really copyright, but that's a different story there. But it is just interesting about that one there, about that part. So, I mean, props to him, he's doing a good job with the localization. So, with Mizuno, she is the producer for the Neptunia series. Apparently, she was a game designer in the beginning, but then later on, she got promoted to series producer. So I gotta give respect for what she did, and she was happy that, hey, a lot of people internationally love the game, including myself. So, hashtag thank you, Mizuno. But one thing that got me interested about one of the talks about it was apparently, and this one I did not know about this until now. So I guess I'm not a true Idea Factory Neptunia fan. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just too old for it. But apparently there was a thing called Proto-Type Neptunia game. So what that is apparently the idea before what Dimension Neptunia is. So of course, everybody knows in the series that Neptune, which is the Sega Saturn, is the main character. She always say, I'm the main protagonist, I'm always should be the star, I should be given more time, etc. That's the joke about it. And apparently the idea before that was that Noir, Blanche, and Vert were actually protagonists. So the reason why there's always 4 characters that you always see all 4 of them, Neptune, and then to some extent Noir, Blanche, and Vert, is that originally those 3 were going to be the main protagonists, and the concept behind it was that all 3 of them are actually sisters from different systems. So again, it was a time of the HD era, PS3, Wii, and 360, and there are 3 sisters that was created by Offworld, which that's still stuck, even the premise in the original Neptunia, not the new one. But from what I heard, a lot of people said they didn't really agree with that concept, but I'll explain it later. Yeah, there are 3 sisters, and I can understand the idea of the breast size. So you got Vert because it's bigger, and then you got Noir, which is, normal, I guess I'm gonna say. And then of course this flat chested, and then you're gonna see a lot of the gimmick there again. And again, like I said before in my other video, it reflects on the system. Vert, because it's the most powerful and refined system, granting the rank rate of death. Noir is a PS3, powerful it may be, but there was a lot of hiccup, hard to develop, so you can have like the yank. The Wii is the most weakest, Blue Ocean, 480, that's it, while the other systems are 1080p, so that's why it's less power, meaning less group power, so that's why she's flat. So you gotta see the pattern there. And the idea of them systems also came from the ribbon. So you gotta notice also all three of them, Vert, Noir, and Flash, they actually have ribbons. And apparently there was some significant about it in the prototype that the ribbon was supposed to be like given by R4. Again, I could be wrong. And that represent of their sisters. But of course they scratched the idea and they just became, hey, let's just make Neptune the main character, and then the other ones are like semi-main characters, and there you go. So that's an interesting part there. There are other things also, and yeah, there's gonna be like more in-depth their interview, but they're gonna put that like in the later days. So I might not do like my thoughts about that one, but I just want to give my like quick thoughts of something big about them. So in the case with Tsunako, of course everybody knows if you follow the Factory or Neptunia, she's the lead artist. She created the Neptunia character, what she's known for. So, of course, he just talks about, her inspiration, what she does, and, the future. But the one interesting part about it is that, first of all, the presentation, they trying to mimic the game because either one, she doesn't want to be on camera. Again, maybe manga artists. I don't know about the culture in Japan. I know there are some artists would, but maybe she just don't have the time. Hey, you know what? I can just do this in the written up. I don't know the whole story, but instead of kind of like Mizuno in the video, it's her insignia, the panda, and that's the key thing about the panda. So, first of all, what I think about her interview, the segment part. I mean, it is what it is. They're trying to emulate the game, so it's kind of funny, but it would be interesting. But again, I probably understand that she probably don't want to be in public. She doesn't want to show her face. Yes, apparently there are some pictures of her on the internet, but not so much. But again, that's a different story there, so I'm not really going to get into it. But one thing that got me interested is the panda. So, if you notice on the interview, there is a panda. However, that panda was also in the game as a chipper. So, yeah, so if you notice, starting with MK2, there are a thing called chipper, which is sort of like makers, but probably just less popular, so that's why they're chippers. And they're supposed to help you in the game, but the story about is that there's a panda there, a female panda warrior by the name of Shakeko, and that's apparently supposed to be her. But then on Ultra Dimension or Victory V, the third game, there's a panda illustration by the same name, Shakeko, and that apparently that's supposed to be her. Yes, folks. So apparently, I didn't know about it, but Tsunako was actually in the game. She's actually in the game as a chipper, as a female panda warrior and an actual panda. And the story behind that is, first of all, the panda, from what I heard, she likes panda, so that's what she has an insignia. But the story behind it was with Shakeko, the two versions. First of all, the female one is that the design was based on one of her favorite online game in the past that unfortunately was shut down, according to her. So they make some sort of like a parody character about it, so that's why the female Shakeko. And then the panda Shakeko is basically, in the beginning, is her, like I said, her insignia, I'm gonna call it that. Her basically illustration, icon, logo, you name it, kind of like Mario's mushroom or the Phantom Thieves' fire hat, or Wario's mustache and the pointy mustache and nose. You know what I'm trying to say there. So that's what Tsunako is. And yeah, and then they say, why not just put the panda in there, and there you go. And there you go. So I didn't know about it. Tsunako was there as a chipper. So again, I'm just getting too old, so I didn't know about it. So like those interviews, I have to say, those are not actually interesting. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So the presentation, the 10th year anniversary, awesome. The announcement, man, I can't wait for it. So it's probably going to be more news coming this year to 2021. So yeah, I mean, gotta give props to the Neptunia. I mean, believe it or not, in the beginning, it did have a slow start. And a lot of people, including myself, really were like, what is Neptunia? After a while, it took me a while. I decided to look into the lore. Like, oh man, you know what? This is interesting. So that's why I became a fan of it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the announcement and the 10th anniversary of Neptunia. I say it was awesome. So with that, I'll see you guys later.